Hello, everybody. It's Ado Muhammad Dankore. There has been an increased awareness with regards to restructuring Nigeria lately. Um, with Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra, and lately the former military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, coming out in support of restructuring. So maybe, after all, restructuring might come sooner than I thought. Um, So it is with this in mind that I thought it's important for Nigerians to know when that time comes. What is this one thing that you need to know that will help Nigeria restructured in a proper way? According to True Federalism, you don't need to know economics, you don't need to know politics, you don't need to know anything. But once you know this one magic formula that I'm going to share with you today, you would help in putting Nigeria on the right track. So what is this magic formula? The magic formula is the limitation of the powers of the federal government. That's it. You heard me well. The limitation of the powers of the federal government. We need to, when that time comes, assign the federal government only few listed, enumerated powers. What that means is the powers need to be clearly listed and they should be few. What these powers are, I'm going to tell you in a bit, but the summary of what those powers are: protecting us against foreign enemies, protecting our rights, our individual rights, not tribal, our individual rights, as well as having a court system. That's basically the big headings of the duties. And even then, they should be listed. They should be clearly listed. Because once we do this, what brings prosperity is when government is out of our lives and the only thing it does is to protect us. That's when prosperity comes. And that's why the big one, the mother or father of all, the federal government, needs to be limited. Now, I might say as well, the state needs to be, each state needs to have powers that are limited as well. But that will be left to the citizens of that state. For example, I'm from all over. I was born in Bauchi. My mom is from Jigawa State. My dad is from Yobe State. So let's say I go to Bauchi, right? I should advocate that the powers of the Bauchi state government should be limited as well. So, but that is left to you, to your state. But the most important one, because state is easy to correct, because there is competition between states, there is no monopoly. Maybe Anambra State can see what Bauchi State is doing, what Bauchi State is doing, can see what Anambra is doing, and they can easily change. But with the federal government, it's really, really difficult. Usually, to change anything, to change the constitution of the federal government, it requires a lot. And for that, so that's one of the reasons why it's important to limit the powers of the federal government, and then state, it should be limited too, but it's up to the people how they want it to be. So limit the powers of the federal government. And what are those examples of those powers? I have here is defense, immigration, federal court system, patent protection of our human and property rights, coining money, interstate commerce, measurement standards, and taxation needed to pay for the above duties. Patent protection, there is a legitimate reason for not having it, handing that function over to the federal government. You and I can do that better per se, and there's whole world out there that are advocating that patent protection be out of the function of government. Patent protection is basically if you invent something, should the government protect it so that others don't copy you or things like that. Interstate commerce as well. There are advocates that that are saying no, is too general. We shouldn't give powers to federal government that is too general, like as such as the interstate commerce, because the interstate commerce is any economic activity between states. But it's still important, though. There are things that the federal government, in terms of interstate, that needs to do. For example, gains, taxes on profits, capital gains. So companies, who is better at taxing the profits of companies? Due to efficiency reason, the federal government is suited for that. Otherwise, once you allow state to do that, this state will reduce its corporate profit tax. That one too will reduce, and they'll keep reducing until there is no source of revenue, and that you don't want that. So that's why the federal government needs to be monopolize that source of revenue. So other than that, defense, immigration, court system, protectors, all that is unarguable. It's common agreement among many people. So those are really, in my opinion, what should be the function of the federal government, listed clearly, well defined. And doing this will really put Nigeria to the path of prosperity. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.